Hello, and welcome to Healthcare Journey. I appreciate you clicking on the video, and I hope the content brings you some answers and a direction as to where to go. This channel is about gaining entrance into medical school, success into residency, and beyond in your careers for a lifetime. And right now, we're discussing the path to get into medical school. Let's start from that beginning. Today's topic, I wanted to talk to you about something that no other creator in my research, after clicking on hundreds of these types of videos, no one ever talks about, okay? Everyone gives you that checklist. You gotta have the grades, activities, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes down to actually proving when you're putting that application together, in the end, does your application prove to the reader, the admissions committee, that you have what it takes to be a physician? Does it scream out, I am somebody you want? Pick me. And none of the videos ever talk about that. All of them may say like, oh, how I got into medical school, but they just say, oh, I got the grades, I got the activities, and then that was it. But none of them really give you that missing link, because when you sit down to write that personal statement, write those essays, when you're really putting yourself on paper, do you know what to do? And I'll tell you, when I was doing it, I sat there staring at that blank screen for hours, you know? And this video is to give you a little peek as to how to achieve that, okay? And it starts way before you start writing your essays. It has to. Why? Because your whole portfolio is being summarized in these essays, these personal statements, okay? So number one thing is you have to create a theme with your extracurriculars, your grades, your everything that you're doing, okay? And how does that theme come about? Well, it comes from your deep desires, what you're interested in, what you're passionate about, okay? Everyone's passionate about medicine, being a doctor, but that does not come across very well in a personal statement. You say, why do you want to be a physician? Tell me about yourself. I just want to be a doctor. I think medicine is really cool. Well, that is not going to get you anywhere, okay? So for example, if you really like you like being face to face with people, you really like the interaction. A lot of people do. So this is a great one, It's like, how do I differentiate myself? Well, one thing is having a lot of activities where you're doing a lot of that reaching out, okay? You're volunteering in the community. You're not necessarily always just in the hospital. You don't need to do that. You can be in shelters, you can be working with kids, but maybe you like instruction, you like teaching, maybe you just really like to read to people, you just really like seeing the response on people's faces from you touching their lives. That's really powerful, and you see that your activities will completely align you. You're like laser focused because you see a skill set that you have, you see a passion, and you just beeline for it. That, when you write that down on your personal statement and you're just saying, when I touch somebody's life, these are the things that happen to me. You may even have had an epiphany. The first time you did it wasn't so great, but the third time, all of a sudden, it's just light bulb went off and you became alive. You truly started to understand what it means to listen and be more than just someone who throws a tray down in front of somebody, maybe just does things without thinking, okay? And in some ways, you don't even need to be a doctor to touch people's lives and make them feel great. These are the kinds of things where if you get that story, you journal it down, transfer that onto the application, you are light years ahead of so many applications, okay? And I'll tell you, you don't need perfect GPA, you don't need the perfect standardized test scores. The admissions committees these days are looking for real people, doctors who are going to be excellent people, okay? Because the book smarts and things like that will come with time, okay? Even if you want to be a surgeon, you feel like, oh my God, my hands are so terrible, I shake like this. The type of the field that you go into, the specialty you may go into, that will all come with time. But are you the person that should be a physician? Would you want to be cared for by yourself? That's the kind of things that people are looking for. They're looking for really extraordinary people inside, okay? That's what they're trying to get at with these applications. And you have the obligation to show it. That is, if you really want to increase your chances of getting into medical school in the first place. And so this is just a little tidbit that I want to throw out there in the kind of interrupting my series right now, but I find that this missing component, how do you bridge your activities to the entrance in medical, the acceptance letter? Well, you got to show it, and your activities need to be extremely customized to you. They need to also stand out and differentiate you all along the way, because you are not the same as every other medical school applicant. You are a completely different person, and therefore your activities and your portfolio should show that in order to make you stand out. Thank you so much for joining me on this channel, and I appreciate you. Why don't you like and subscribe? I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.